watcher. I observe all that transpires here, but I do not, cannot, will not interfere.
I watched Game of Thrones up to like season. I actually went back to see because I was like, I wonder how far I actually got farther than I thought I did.
Really?
Yeah.
Just didn't finish.
No, see, because I got as far as when she meets the dude with the many faces. Like I had stopped kind of right around the time she had started her training.
Oh, Arya.
Yeah. See, I thought I stopped after the Red Viper died. But turns out that's a lot earlier in the show than I thought it was. I thought that was like
I think that's like season 3.
Yeah,
season 4.
I thought it was like season 5 or 6 that happened.
Oh no, it's like season 3 or season 4.
So
I want to say 3.
Yeah, so like I had stopped.
Where the Hound crushes his shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I had stopped like right around the time that Arya had started her training, and she
Mountain. The Mountain.
Yeah, the Mountain squeezes the Viper's head. But when Arya had started her training, and I think she fucked something up, and they told her she wasn't worthy of. So then they took her eyes away.
Yeah, they made her blind.
That's that was like when I kind of like faded out of watching it.
I'll be honest, that part around that time too is when I stopped watching it for a little bit, and then I got back into it. I forgot how, but I did. I stopped watching it too around that time.
I have to get myself back up about it because I tried going back and watching it.
Oh really?
It's like, because then like I started going back and I was like, how far did I get? And I was like, oh shit, I've seen all this. Oh yeah, I've seen all this. Oh yeah, I've seen all this. And then I got
it's one of the best shows ever written, ever made.
I don't know if I'm willing to go that far.
Really?
I think it's one of the most. I think it's one of the most beautiful shows ever made.
Okay.
Like
aesthetically, you mean, or just
like
or?
I think it's crafted beautifully, like the cinematography of it and the characters.
I mean, they're all in like what, fucking New Zealand and shit.
Yeah, like it's and
Ireland,
but
one of the
I don't know. I just don't know, like, because to me, okay, for me, like a show like Game of Thrones can't be the greatest of all time if it's disputed amongst its fans. Do you see what I'm saying? Like when I think about the greatest of all time, but hold on,
it was the greatest up until the last like 3 episodes.
But see, I don't even. But see, even then, like when you talk to people about Breaking Bad,
okay,
the people that watched Breaking Bad from beginning to end, that got into it, there isn't a single argument amongst anyone that will debate like the ending of that show, the way that it ended, and how it was done. Pretty much across. I mean, like I would say, if you put 100 Breaking Bad people in a room, 99 of them would tell you that it's the perfect show. There's like no debate to it.
Really?
I don't think so. Because a lot of the people
I know because I never finished it.
A lot of the people that I know that didn't like the show, they just said, well, I didn't like it. It wasn't for me, so I didn't continue watching it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like Game of Thrones fans, they continued to watch it even though they didn't like it because they wanted to see how it ended. And even then, they were still disappointed in the ending. It was never like that for Breaking Bad. Like, I'll put it this way. Breaking Bad broke the mold because of, and you should remember this because we were actually living together when this happened. And this was when I started watching Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is responsible for all the mid-season breaks that you see nowadays.
What you mean?
So like, have you ever like watched a TV show and they take like a mid-season break? They have like a mid-season finale. It happens on a lot of like network TV shows.
Yeah.
Like a TV show that runs like 10 episodes, and 5 episodes in, they take a break for like 6 weeks and then they come back to the show. That's because of Breaking Bad. Because what ended up happening was the 5th season was rolling out, and DirecTV took AMC off of their listing. Like as the 5th and final season was rolling out.
It was on AMC?
It was on AMC.
Breaking Bad
Was on AMC.
No way.
Yeah, Breaking Bad was an AMC show.
With all the violence and all the cussing and
AMC.
Wow.
So basically what ended up happening was they DirecTV pulls AMC off of their listing.
Okay.
And so all those people that were watching Breaking Bad or had AMC through DirecTV were pissed because how are they going to watch the final season? So people started canceling their DirecTV, moving back over to cable. DirecTV saw a giant dip in people buying Dish, because this was still at the time when you had either cable or Dish.
I wonder if their stock went down.
Oh, majorly. They fucked up huge.
Imagine. That's, yeah. I was going to say, because that's a big show.
So then by the time, I don't remember how many episodes deep they were in. I think they were like 4 or 5 episodes deep. DirecTV finally got their shit together, got AMC back. And so everybody was like, well, all the people with AMC still haven't seen the old episodes. So they took a mid-season break so that everybody that had DirecTV could catch back up.
Yeah.
With where everybody with cable was at. And the numbers fucking skyrocketed. Like the people that were watching it on DirecTV, people were rewatching it on cable. Like just rewatching the first 4 episodes. And then when the mid-season break ended and they rolled out episodes 5, 6, 7, or whatever the last few episodes were, it was like record-shattering viewership.
Wow.
And so then everybody started doing it.
Wow.
Because like people needed it that bad.
I see what you're saying.
So like that's kind of
did it undergo like, so you know how like Breaking Bad, or not Breaking Bad, but do you know how like Game of Thrones, the writer never only wrote up to like season 5 or season 6 or something like that?
Yeah. The books, you
and
mean?
Then 7 and 8. Yeah, and then 7 and 8 they made up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that is the reason why, that alone is one of the reasons why it won't be considered for a lot of people, like in their, let's say, their top 5.
No, I think that's a big reason. That was honestly, to me, when the show had first rolled out, I had seen the first season, and I was like, that was pretty dope. And then I don't remember where I had heard it, but then I had heard that, hey, he hasn't even finished the books yet. I'm like, you're rolling out a whole TV show, and the man hasn't even finished the books? And I was like, how are you
Has
gonna...
he since?
No.
He still hasn't?
No, he still hasn't. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, how? So now there's expectations because of the movie, but the books are going to be like, and he helped write for the final 2 seasons. So it's like, I don't know. Like that process seemed really, really weird to me.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to look that up.
But hey, it was like, but you know, like the time, I mean, make the show while you can make the show, I guess.
That's fucking nuts.
So,
a 10-year novel. Woo! Ooh. But,
this is the world's longest intro.
Oh, true.
And here we go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Welcome
Oh, Jesus.
to another one.
Hi there. Oh.
Hi there. You sound like Woody. Jump to hyperspace. Co-pilots. Shake it in. Man, we are.
I'm pretty fucking baked right now.
Yo. Fly me to the moon. Let me play. That's where I'm at right now.
God.
Among the stars. So what if
What if we did get this baked before a fucking show? Oh shit.
Okay. What if? What'd you think? Nah, hold on. I'm not starting with you and your shenanigans. Hold on.
What do you mean?
You know what?
What do you mean me and
No.
my shenanigans?
Because we were talking earlier today.
Yeah.
And you had the caucasity.
How fucking dare you?
Heard it. You heard it.
Wow.
You heard it right. And you said that you didn't think it was all that in a bag of chips. And I said, you are out your mind. And I told you to save it. Save it for the show.
I'm trying to save it for the show, and then
you pissed me off. And I was just trying to clean up the house.
Hey man,
that's all. I was trying to do my little chores.
Hey, look,
and you pissed me off.
Okay.
So what's up? Let me hear it. What didn't you like?
What do you mean?
What's the problem?
Oh my god.
And here we go.
Fucking director Wojie.
I'm not a director.
God damn it.
I just saying, man. Look, it's not that I didn't like it. I shouldn't say I didn't like it. Not that I didn't enjoy it.
Okay.
But just like something to me watching it just didn't seem right. I don't know.
It was a woman.
Not even close. No, like it was just something about.
And on this episode of Jump to Hyperspace, we take a deep dive into how we are womanizers, misogynistic womanizers. No,
I just
What was it? What didn't you like? I mean, it was almost
so
dead on to the regular dialogue that we all came to freaking love and appreciate.
I think
so. I fell asleep on that movie 3 times.
So I think. Okay,
talking about Captain America, the First Avenger,
Captain Carter. Well, I know which
you guys haven't seen it.
What are you doing here?
For the fans.
Seen it?
For the fans.
And our fans shouldn't be like you, where they haven't.
If
seen
they, you watch your mouth, okay? Right. You watch your dirty little cock hole, okay?
Right.
I watch everything now, okay?
Oh, yeah, right.
I am deep. I'm a fucking genius in this game now, dude. Smartest man alive.
Oh yeah, did
what you're talking about? Yeah, did. All right, so what? Okay, get it out. My bad. I keep interrupting.
Okay, so it was just. I don't know. I watched it, and I was like, "That was cool." It wasn't anything to where I was like completely blown away.
Okay.
Like to me,
are you going into it with your expectations high? Like, where are you at going into the show? That's stupid. It better not have fucked this up. I swear I'm gonna be pissed.
You fucked this up. Did I tell you too on the other thing too on the Suicide Squad one that kept on getting pulled off YouTube anyway?
Yeah, dude, we're super bummed about that. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry about that. The audio will be coming out soon, out on
Yeah.
Spotify and
Check it
everything
out.
else.
We had a good time on that one.
But about 9 minutes of your thing was cut out, like completely.
Towards the end,
Yeah, like
it's
it was
when
just me just talk.
it's what just
It
happened
was
here.
when, yeah, it's when we were talking about the Superman. I was like laming off the last bit of my movies, and it just cut out. And I was like, oh, there it goes.
Yeah, this one's probably gonna have troubles too.
No, that's all right. We'll figure it out.
Fuck.
Um,
I hate when that shit
no,
happens.
so okay, so I'll put it like this: like I have high expectations for the series as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily have super high expectations for every single episode. Like I don't think that every single episode is going to be like a wow factor. Oh, that was so cool. Like, oh yeah, that was cool. Like Peggy Carter as Captain Carter. Like it was a great twist on things. Steve effectively being the first Iron Man. Like
Very dope.
I found pieces of it very cool. I thought the animation looked incredible.
Mm-hmm.
The voice acting was
Oh,
a little
so
shaky
beautiful.
here and there. But I'll refer to you. There's a couple of scenes where like you can just kind of tell that the actors are just kind of phoning in the lines. It doesn't really sound very believable. But
I didn't get that.
and I think at this phase too, like you have to have good voice acting, and they do. There was just a couple of parts in there where
Didn't Bucky do Bucky?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Sharon Carter did, or not Sharon Carter, but Peggy Carter, Haley Atwell, she did hers, and so did the dude. Like they all pretty much came back except for Steve and the rest go. I think we're pretty much otherwise all the voices came back.
Wow, Steve's pretty damn close though, if you think about it.
Yeah, super close. It's good.
It's really good.
So like I said, like I expect the series as a whole to be magnificent, but I just don't. It was like when we talked about Loki, like the series as a whole is great, but like that third episode, like like we're gonna skip over it. When I skip over it when I rewatch the series, you know what I mean? Like when this whole series
wow,
comes
this is
out
only
again,
the first episode that came out, and you're already saying that.
But I'm not salty though, like because I know that there's probably going to be episodes that I'm not going to dig, that I'm just not going to be like getting up for. Like
I'm
so
getting
like
up
it's
for
not
everyone.
necessarily a knock on the series, and I'm getting up like I heard that she'll be back later on in the series. I'm here for that. Just that, and I felt like too, like it was just a 30-minute. Like I felt like you crammed
It's a
way too
30-minute
much
speed
in
run.
30 minutes. You should have. I felt like maybe you should have made that like 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
Oh,
like
so
give
you
us just a
want
little bit more,
huh?
just a little bit, just a little bit. I felt like it was a little
You
bit
have
of a because you
changed.
basically because what you did was you gave me the speed read version of Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yeah, that's what it was
with a
supposed to do.
different character and a different ending.
That's what it was supposed to do.
So then why not just give me just a little bit more of that story? Like just give me like a 40-minute episode rather.
We need to see it again.
It felt like you just jumped like from
like
thing
what
to thing to thing.
I feel you, but like what parts should they have added? I mean, like at this point, everybody should know the story of Captain America. It's like Superman. Like how you wanted me to watch the Superman movie. I'm like, I know his story. It's like retelling Batman over again. Like everybody knows Batman's story. So I guess like I enjoyed the speed run.
I get that.
But they touched on like major events that happens in the movie with Peggy Carter as Captain Union. Right? Is that it? Or Captain what is it?
Captain Carter.
It is Captain Carter, but what was the Union Jack? Is that's what he kept saying?
Yeah.
Because she didn't have a name at first. She was just like
Yeah. So I get those points, but I just like maybe you should have given I don't know, because I guess she really doesn't have like a story. Like I said, you just kind of sped
Maybe
ran
see her
really
origins
the first
instead.
one.
Maybe throwing like
Something maybe
the
her
beginning of
or
her
her doing
origins.
or her doing something else, something different.
But I
I
guess we
don't
have
know.
Peggy Carter for that too.
Yeah, so it's just
The
like I don't
show
know.
Agent Carter.
Yeah, so that too is like my other like I don't know, like it just if this was like a one off
Mm-hmm.
that they were doing and it didn't take place in the MCU and it had no consequence,
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably treat it like I'm treating the Bad Batch right now, to where I'm waiting for like 6 episodes to roll out, and then I'll just speed watch it. Like that particular episode, like I'm excited. Like I said, I think the series is going to be a knockout, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have great episodes throughout the entire series,
Right. Mm.
or at least episodes that me personally I'm not like.
So not impressed, basically, is what you are.
No, I wouldn't say not impressed. I would just say I'm just not like, cause like I'm excited. Like I'm coming for this next one.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so
the next one's gonna be super crazy.
okay. I'll put it like this. This is the best way that I could put it. It would be like it would be okay. Say that it would be like watching a championship level football team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or maybe even the New England Patriots over the last 15 years,
Okay.
and watching the first quarter of, or just the first game of the preseason. And you know that what you have put together is a championship team. You know that what you're going to watch your team, you're going to watch them compete, and it's not going to be a lousy season.
Okay.
It's not going to be a lost season. You're not going to be watching games here and there. You're going to watch every single game. But this first preseason game, you're kind of watching it and you're like, oh my God, what the fuck are we doing here?
Mm.
But then in the back of your head, you also know that fuck, this is championship quality
Right.
shit. We're still here. We're still doing it. I'm still attached to
This
the
is just the
players.
first one. It's
This
not
is just
really.
kind of the first
We're just
one. I'm not
getting
really
out
like,
the blocks.
yeah. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't anything that there were a couple of things that I was like, oh shit, I'm excited for that thing, or oh shit, you know what I mean? This player's gonna look good this year. But
Yeah.
like I wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? Like it was, to me, it was like a preseason game. Like I'm excited. We're here. The season is here.
And you know they're gonna be playing New York
Right,
Giants
and you know it's
later
good.
in the year, like week
Right.
10 or some
You,
shit. I
you know
see
what
what
I
you're
mean?
saying.
And I know you didn't throw out all the starters.
Yeah.
You know, so we're just, you know what I mean? Like to me, that's kind of how I felt.
Mm.
I was like, yeah, that was good. We, you know, like you won the preseason game, but it was just the preseason game. There's some hiccups here and there.
Wow.
Just some things that I personally wasn't pleased with. But
I liked it,
as
man.
a whole, I know what we're going to get is great. And I know
Gotcha.
that when we see Captain Carter again, it's going to be a good appearance. I don't dislike the character. Just was something about that I watched it and I said, that was cool. Okay. Episode 2. And then I tried watching breakdowns of it, watching it again. I watched it 2 more times and I watched a couple Easter egg breakdowns. And I still kind of came out of it like, yeah, that was episode 1. What else do we got here?
See, but what I fear is that you think the next couple of storylines are gonna stray.
No, I don't think.
Like go off the beaten path. Like it's gonna be not like, all right. So like the next one we got where T'Challa gets picked up and he becomes Star-Lord, right?
Right. Yeah.
I still feel like it's gonna be Peter Quill's story from Guardians of the Galaxy, but with
Right.
little
I'm okay with
different
that,
things.
but with
But
right.
so that's why I don't understand. Like, if it's gonna be like that throughout the thing, then why is this one
But
not hitting for you? I guess
because I know it's not going to be like that throughout the whole thing. Because there's going to be a whole entire episode about Spider-Man becoming the Sorcerer Supreme.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a whole episode about the Avengers being zombies. Like, how is that going to incorporate into?
True, but I think that's going to come with the Doctor
and it's still
Strange
like a
one.
Steve Rogers.
Like, we won't get none of that. I feel like all the timelines are going to be similar to the movies that they've already had, just until we get up to Doctor Strange. Like, that's what I think is going to happen, because he's going to be like the releasing the multiverse type shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I think is going to happen.
But see, like, that's the thing. And like this next episode, it might be the same thing. I might watch it and go, that was cool. Like,
you're ready to see this multiverse shit go down.
I'm just and that's kind of my thing. Like, I know that What If is effectively just getting people hyped for the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that they're gonna try to put shit from What If into the live action MCU. Yeah. So I know that there's gonna be, but I just like going into this, like I'm not expecting a perfect show. I'm just expecting to see some different perspectives, some cool things. And like with this one, to be honest, if it's T'Challa that gets, obviously kidnapped, and it's effectively Peter Quill's story, I'm probably not going to be that. Like, I'm going to be hyped around like the cool things that we see around it and some of the little differences that we see.
Yeah.
But if it's effectively Peter Quill's story, I'm not going to be like, I'll probably have the same energy coming in here as I do right now.
Wow.
To where I'm still like excited for the show. And I'm excited to see, like, I really do. Like, I enjoy the multiverse of it, like the different stories and the what ifs. But like, okay, I'll put it this way. Like, if you sat me down and you had 6 books out, and the first 2, and you told me the first 2 stories were, I'm going to tell you the story of Captain America, but as Peggy Carter, and I'm going to tell you the story as Peter Quill as T'Challa, but it's T'Challa. Like, my initial reaction is going to be, okay, cool, but what, like, how does this really have, like, okay, but what, like, how is it a different story? You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to tell me that you're changing history and you're changing timelines, but all you're doing is effectively just changing the person, but not the events, then I'm kind of like, like why? Like, then what are we doing here?
So,
do you know what I mean?
No, I hear what you're saying. But that's not what different timelines are. Isn't it like pretty much the same, like, trials and tribulations, but worked in a different matter, like in a different way? Isn't that what those would be? Like, certain, like, things that are like heavy.
Yeah, but I feel, but even then, but I feel like that's cheating. Like, if you're gonna go, like, if you're gonna tell me that the multiverse is multiple timelines, but in this timeline, you and I are living this life, but in a different timeline, you're living my life and I'm living your life. It's literally the same exact trajectory, the same exact life. It's just a different person. What's like, where's the creativity in that? Do you know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, if I die and I'm born again as fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme, but I do the same Jean-Claude shit and I go on
But
to
let's
do the
think
same
about that.
movies
Let's unpack.
like
All right,
what
let's unpack it.
is
Let's unpack
I
it.
guess being reborn is a different timeline, is a whole different thing entirely. But
Right.
like from a different timeline perspective, where's the creativity and where's
Let's
the
unpack.
fun?
Let's unpack it. Let's unpack the
If
episode. So let's.
because there are different things that happen.
100%.
Like obviously she decides to change, she decides to stay, and that's
Correct.
what kicks
That
off
is the
whole
next.
thing.
That's the nexus event. Yep.
Right. So and the Nazi dude decides to stay in the room as well. Everybody is in the room.
Yes.
General Lee dies because of it. Tommy Lee characters die because of it. A lot of more people die, and that car chase never happens.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So there are things that change, but it's effectively the same. Like, because then they were going to dress her up in a uniform and make her do the USO thing. And that got changed slightly, so she doesn't have to do that. But I also wonder.
Well,
though,
it wasn't even a thought in the timeline. That wasn't a thought.
It was a thought.
No, because Steve Rogers. I think what they do is they're like.
Because she says
saying it. She's like, I don't want to be a pincushion. Essentially, just be like a specimen, which is what they tried to do to to Steve Rogers in the first one. But then he was like, instead of him going into a lab, he went on tour and did that bullshit. So they just switched it. That's all they did.
No, but then when Howard goes to give her the suit, she was like, "What is this?" He was like, "This was your going on tour USO to sell war bonds." But I made some alterations. So I'm thinking that because they just shortened it to a 30-minute episode, we didn't see her get. Yeah. We didn't get that part. We're effectively getting the same thing. It's just sped ran through, and the excuse was we're just not going to show it because we're going to rush through it, and Howard Stark just altered her uniform. So they effectively were going to do the same. They were going to run her around too. They drew all her blood, and then they were going to give her.
Can we say thank
around,
God though that they didn't do that?
Huh?
Can we say thank you to the writers because we didn't get that? Like, who wanted to see that montage again? I just watched Captain America last night.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. So you effectively gave us the same story with slight alterations because you needed to cut a 2.5 movie down to a 30-minute animated episode.
Right.
So I get that, but it's like effectively the same. I did like the whatever that fucking Kraken thing was at the end. I wish that would have been in Captain America.
Hydra's champion, the real champion.
Yeah, I wish that would have been in Captain America. So, like, to me, like I judge. Like so I have two different judgings of the way that I like kind of judge my shows and my movies. Like the first one is how excited I am after I leave the experience. Like once the credit starts rolling. Like, do I want to run it back? Or was I like, oh, okay, that's what it was. So like I can look at something and say, yeah, I don't really care to run that back. But it was a good movie or it was a good TV show. But I'm not really gonna care to watch that one again. Like I wouldn't care for it. Do you know what I mean? Like like artistically and story wise it's good. But there's just something about it that you just don't fucking care for.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but I'm already the type to not want to watch something right after I watch it anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, like, I'll run it back, like, in the next couple of days. Or even, like, the Loki episodes. Like, I was watching those back to back.
Yeah, no, not me.
And so like that's how I like how badly do I want to watch it again? It's kind of how I gauge like how much I liked it.
I don't know, man. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was dope. I thought her fighting was way more better than Steve Rogers.
The way she took down the truck.
Also, it is animated, so you can get away with more scenes, type of thing. But I think they did a good job with that because, I mean, if you think about it, she was already in the service, so she was already a badass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Steve was finding it as he was going.
Yeah. I also wonder, and this is again just me nitpicking, and maybe this is just because I feel like she doesn't get better justification for becoming a super soldier. Like she became it on accident, basically.
No, on purpose.
And to me, no, it was on accident.
Well, she
remember the whole thing blows up and he gets shot and he can't crawl into the thing, and they're like, "There's no more time. We have to do this now."
She makes the decision,
and I'm wondering, but why? Okay, so I get like the. So I guess the reasoning is I guess you can't build another laboratory in time. Is that what?
No.
Is that what there's no more time for?
No, you only get one. It's limited resources.
I don't know about that. It's the U.S. government. I don't know.
That's what he said. And then he also said like something about.
But you also have the ability. Yeah, but I don't. That's where I didn't get where the one chance. Like I think so. Was it just one chance because they only had?
And they were going to take out half of the city's energy. So he was already happening. They could probably explain it once because they got to lie about it. It's a secret. So they got to lie about the government will have to then lie about why about a power surge multiple times. In what, the 19 what was that, the 30s?
40s? You're at war.
Guess.
You tell people anything at that point.
I guess. But no, I think I just don't. It's just not how the story was written, I think. So.
No, I know. It's just, I don't know. That part just, like, to me, it just seemed like you can't. I'm like, not that she can't be a super soldier.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, why does it have to come down to that for her to be like, why was it? I mean, I get it because it's the 40s. They would have never picked her in the first goddamn place. So I guess it had to be by accident that she had to become.
I think what it is they're
soldier.
retelling Steve Rogers' story, but like all up until that point, the main focus is Steve Rogers. Until she decides.
No, wasn't it was Peggy?
Until she
starts
decides.
narrated about Peggy.
Right, until she decides to stay. And then that's when the focal point of the character. Right, but that's where the focal point. That's why it's a what if, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the focal point switches to the main character. And now it's Peggy. But the story, I guess, up until that point where she goes, you know what? No, I will stay. It's all pretty much the same movie.
Mm-hmm. Just
animated. And then it's her who becomes, because of the situation at hand, the bomb goes off. He shoots Steve Rogers.
Right. No, I understand why. I guess I was just trying to talk myself into the logic of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like I get that. Yeah, he was shot. Blah 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 blah. I just like the whole logic of like we're running out of time. There's no more time. We gotta do this now. Like sometimes to me that makes me feel like you're just doing things to do things.
Well, didn't they?
So I need to.
Didn't they get confirmation that like in the first movie that Schmidt was about to make a move? In the first one, Schmidt already has been operated on, so he knows that there's this evil out there that possesses the same power that he's trying to give Steve Rogers, but for bad, which is why he gives him that whole line in the beginning of the first movie. He's like, "You're a good,
right?
Like you don't want to kill soldiers, you just don't like bullies. So you're like, you whatever you are just amplifies you. So if you're good, you become great, and if you're bad, you become worse." So he just wanted to get the opposite of what he already created, which was evil. He just wanted something to match up quickly. Do you think, like, I don't know, he probably knew there was a hit on his head? I don't know. But again, I think those are just like things that they never really tell you in the movies and or shows, and they just kind of give you the story.
Yeah. No, I think you're mistaking my unenthusiasm for me not liking.
Yeah.
Like to me, like when this whole series is all said and done, and again, like I've reiterated this on multiple occasions, like I'm probably not gonna watch this episode.
That's crazy.
I've seen it 3 times now.
Okay, well then, yeah, I wouldn't watch it that many times. I've only seen it twice.
But see, that's the thing, though. I've watched other things multiple times over a multiple day span. Shit that like I've been excited for, like the final episode of Loki. I probably watched 4 or 5 times over a 3-day span. Like Zack Snyder's Justice League, I probably watched 4 or 5 times over a week span.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, yeah, your numbers are just hot, just
like I don't mind rewatching things over and over and over again. The amount
See,
of
if I
times
like
that I've
something,
seen,
I'll watch it twice. But if I don't like it, or if I just thought it was okay, I'd only watch it one time. And those are in the same.
Like
those are in the same boat.
You like my old lady? She doesn't. She watches something once or twice, and then she's done with it.
Yeah.
See, where to me, I watch things over, especially like the Marvel shit and the DC shit, because there's so much hidden shit in there that you can't see.
So like, yeah, so
time.
those I've seen multiple times, but not like back to back type shit. Like it's been like span.
Oh no, I've seen them like So if you want to talk about the span, then I've seen them hundreds of times.
See, that's wild. That's absurd.
But I'm just saying, like that's so like to me, like that's how I judge it. Like if I can get up for it.
Yeah.
Like to me, like when I'm doing like my MCU rewatch, there's movies that I will just straight fast watch through. Like I won't sit down and watch Iron Man 3 all the way through from start to finish. I will fast watch through that.
Really?
Yeah.
Not
100%.
One of your faves?
No, hell no.
Why?
Thor 2, I watched for
so boring.
The history pieces that they put into it and shit, and some of the ties that it has. But otherwise, like I fast watch through it.
Yeah, those are super boring.
You know what I mean? Like there's certain movies that I'm like, yeah, that was good, and I can watch it, but like especially like in a continuation, like in a series.
Yeah. No,
you know what I mean? Like when I rewatch Sons of Anarchy, I love Sons of Anarchy, but there's episodes that I'll read the description and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this episode. Let me skip ahead a couple episodes.
And see, I'm like, if I remember the show or the movie, like if I can go through like the whole plot in my head, then I'm like, I don't want to see it. I just seen it. Like that's me. That's how I get down.
Yeah. So like imagine. So then put yourself in my shoes. Like somebody who like if you've seen it once and you're just like, yeah, all right, cool. All right, done with it. Like okay, so answer me this then: did you enjoy Captain Carter enough to where you like over let's say the next?
Were you talking that whole time?
Yeah.
Bro.
You just got up and left, huh? You're a jackass.
I had to go
I thought you had your AirPods in.
I had to go get my medicine.
You didn't say nothing. You just got up.
I did. I got real abrupt. I apologize. My bad. My bad.
Well, now I don't even remember what I was saying.
I thought I said hold on, though. I didn't say hold on?
No. You just got up.
Sorry. I'm high.
I thought you had your head. I thought you still had like your AirPods in or something. So
I'm floating. I apologize, sir.
it's like watching sports sometimes to me. Like, you know that not every single game that you watch is gonna be a thriller, you know, down to the final minute classic. Some of them you watch, you might turn on the TV and all of a sudden it's the third quarter and they're getting blown out. And it's not that fun to watch. But the basketball itself, if you're a true fan, is still fun to watch. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can watch a blowout in basketball because I can watch the inner workings of the basketball game. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to see the score.
A true fan. Like, you just like the game. You love the game so
Yeah,
much.
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, for me, like, I watched Captain Marvel. I watched it a few times, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't that thriller to me. Like, you know? That's kind of how I feel about it. I don't know how else to really explain it.
Hold up. Did you ask me if I was going to watch Captain Marvel or Captain Carter?
Captain Carter.
Okay. So I'm like, nah.
I'm never watching Captain Marvel again.
So look, so
I usually skip right over that one.
So look, last night I liked the movie, or I liked the show so much that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go watch Captain America.
Uh-oh.
And I found a new appreciation for it.
Captain America?
I didn't really like it at first. Like, I didn't enjoy it. I would always fall asleep. I thought it was boring.
Okay.
But after watching Captain Carter, it's like, wow, there's probably a lot of things that I didn't really know, or I don't know. Like, it was dope to see how they let her do some of the things like that were like within the movie, but the way that they switched it up, like when she comes and slams the Tesseract on the desk, like the whole scene is for her to go get the Tesseract as opposed to going to get. Oh wait, no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like to go get Dr. Zola, but Dr. Zola has the Tesseract on him when they get him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then like Tony gets it, or Howard gets it. Howard gets it, and then he freaking makes the Iron Man suit out of that. Like, I'm like, that shit is so cool to see. So
See,
then,
like,
I loved how they like just went back and forth. Like, they pick and chose what they wanted to equate the storyline to make it similar to Captain America.
Okay. So give me one of these then.
Go ahead.
What if? What if? So, like I said, like kind of harken back to how you kind of tell the same story, but it's a different character. I mean, would you be mad if her staying and she kills the beast, and then? Well, I guess they wouldn't really have any conflict to live out, but like, what if they like her and Steve had started something as Iron Man or as the Hydra Stomper? Because he's effectively the very first Iron Man.
Yeah.
So what if that instead of her traveling back to 2012 through that little portal, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if she lives out her life? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if they live out the next 70 years of their life as Captain Carter and the Hydra Stomper, and that effectively, and then Tony grows up essentially being a fan of the Hydra Stomper of Steve Rogers because his dad built the suit for him, and that makes him want to like become a superhero, and that is what makes him become Iron Man. He builds the suit to further his dad and Steve's legacy.
Yeah.
Rather than Steve being an annoying prick, effectively Tony's entire life in this MCU.
True.
You know what I mean? So it was
very
like,
true.
Like, what if you completely flipped it on its head?
That would be
And
fun.
again, I'm just
That'd be fun to watch. See, that's what I like about this. Is like there's so many possibilities and so many different
right.
avenues and pathways that they can go down. Man, they can make a
But they still kind of took the
unique
same
story.
route. Like she disappears in, she sacrifices herself in World War One, only to appear right before the Battle of New York in 2012, which is effectively what happened to Steve. He sacrifices himself and to get rid of the Tesseract, or to get rid of those bombs, and then he wakes up in 2012, 70 years later, only just to literally get flung right back into the Battle of New York.
Wait, what battle did she come to?
The Battle of New York. Like that's effectively when she meets them. Is right before that, because they're working on Project Pegasus, and Project Pegasus is like the big point in Avengers 1.
Wait, what are we talking about? Captain Marvel?
No, Captain Carter.
Captain Carter? When did she have a battle in New York? Or are you saying what if?
No, that's when she shows up. I'm saying the two parallels, because I'm talking about having two completely different endings here.
Okay.
I'm talking about her and Steve living their life out as effectively as like superheroes. It's like the first Avengers team. Like that is Shield and the Avengers, the first Avengers, effectively.
Am I missing the last scene? Hold on. Yeah, I think I'm missing the last scene. 1 second.
But then in the last scene of Captain Carter, she comes back through that portal via the Tesseract.
Yes.
While Nick Fury, so that's Project Pegasus, which is the first Avengers when Eric Selvig and those guys are working on, when Loki comes through the Tesseract portal. Remember, he's like, I didn't turn it on, it turned on itself. And Loki comes through the other side. But in this one, they turned it on, and Captain Carter comes through the other side.
So yeah, they brought her back through the Tesseract. She came out the Hydra, the creature, the Hydra creature. Chunks came out with her. Nick Fury tells her the wars, 70 years ago.
Which was basically the same thing he tells Steve.
Yeah, she said, yeah. Yeah. Okay. But see, now we don't get the Loki, though. Because she came through the Tesseract, not Loki.
Right, but we're still going to get the Battle of New York.
How do we know?
Is what I'm saying. Because they showed a preview of it.
They showed in What If they showed a preview of the Battle of New York?
Yeah. It's just altered.
See, now I want to see how that happens.
Well, see, I do too, but if I do too, and it's different people. But that's what I'm saying. Like I'm hyped, but like at the same time, I'm like, why are we telling the same story, but just with different characters?
You want a whole new thing.
Come on. Okay. Layman's terms, I'll break it down like this.
But there's got to be some catastrophic event, though.
Well, right, yeah, but if it's all effectively, like, I think Gamora is like effectively like they're gonna take Thanos' story and give it to Gamora.
Really?
Because I saw in one of the previews, she's like wearing his battle armor, throwing around that dual bladed sword.
That's scary.
So like, right. But if
that's kind of dope. That's scary though.
But if it's right, but my issue is, and again, it's not that big of an issue. But if it's the same story,
just different people in the roles.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily like get me up out of my seat. Like, could you imagine? Could you imagine if your mom told you the same bedtime story for, like, if she told you a great story over the last 13 years, like great, awesome bedtime stories, you tucked in at night, you feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, oh, well, what happens now? She's like, I'm going to tell you the same story, but I'm going to tell you the same story with the same characters, but they're all going to be in different roles instead. So now I'm going to take this character, and this character is going to do this. And I'm going to take this character, and this character is going to be this. But it's going to be the same fucking story.
I get that, but they all still do things in their own way.
I know, but it's effectively the same.
But again, there has to be events. Otherwise, they're just I don't know.
But if you're effectively telling the same,
they're not gonna have any.
But again, if you're just like what would be so bad about Peggy and Steve living out their days with S.H.I.E.L.D. together as the Hydra Stomper and Captain Carter. And then effectively somewhere down the road, obviously they get old. She doesn't get old, because she ages well.
Mm.
But Steve gets old, and Tony takes it up and becomes Iron Man. And then you still kind of have that dynamic because Howard and Peggy and Steve all had a relationship over the years. And now that relationship transfers over to Tony as she's watched Tony grow up. And it has a different effect on him, the way that he operates. He's not just all of a sudden some narcissistic prick who grew up as a billionaire, who hates his dad. He has a different legacy. You know what I mean? Like you could spin it
you're just
different ways, and you could still get the same characters. I'm not saying that my story is better than what they're doing here. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like if it's, you know, like I'll liken it to sports. Like when the Golden State Warriors were going to like 5 straight finals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's fun. I'm watching the basketball. I'm a true fan. But ultimately, I know where this is going. So they win 73 games this year.
I think it's just familiarity.
And then they win 60 games this year. And then they win. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, like I know it's the same story. Somebody got hurt this season, but they didn't get hurt last season. But they still came back and everybody was able to win the championship. Like, I know the Golden State Warriors are going to the NBA Finals. I know LeBron is going to the NBA Finals. He's just got different players.
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
I just think
so. I would like to see something.
It's for this. It's just for similarity. I think like familiarity.
No. It totally is.
Yeah,
I totally keep. And I get that you can't like
attracted to.
You can't plunge it. Yeah, and you can't. And I get that you can't, for the fans' sake and for keeping familiarity, like you can't plunge it into too much chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you want to incorporate it into your live action MCU.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to see the chaos.
Understandable.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I would like to see a completely different... Because you're going to tell me, like, hey,
you want
this is often a different...
kills MCU type shit.
Yeah, to where, like...
outrageous.
Yeah, and, like, you even could incorporate it into the MCU to where, like, 5-10 years down the road, like, Haley Atwell shows up as Captain Carter in a live action film, and she was like, that was not the Tony that I knew. Like, the Tony that I knew was completely different. And you can still play it off like that, and it's still Tony Stark, but because it takes place in a separate corner of the universe, it doesn't necessarily have to be the same familiar story.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be mad if you told me, like, in the corner of this universe, Thanos actually wasn't shit. He was just a farmer.
Yeah.
Thanos was just some dude who was a farmer. Had no aspirations, nothing.
No ambition.
Yeah, he just was a farmer. Living out in the galaxy, doing his own thing. It's like, all right, I'll buy that because you have infinite universes.
Right.
You know, so like I get the familiarity, but I want to see the chaos. I want to see you throw just a wild ass story at the wall. Because again, this is what if.
It's true.
You know what I mean? So you know what I'm I'm cherry picking about it, and I know that I am.
Yeah.
But that's
actually,
just
I get it though. I get that. You just want to see him get crazy creative.
yeah, like get crazy with it. You know what I mean? Because I like what I don't want to see at the end of it is like a different version of the Avengers fighting Gamora for the Infinity Stones. Like I don't like, you know what I mean? Like it just I'm like, okay, I already saw this story, but with different characters. Which is funny. I'm bitching about that because that's literally what Hollywood is over the last forever. We literally watch the same story just with different actors, different characters.
Yeah.
With varying outcomes here and there, but they're usually the same.
Yeah.
So it's funny that I'm bitching and complaining about that, but it's ironic that I would bitch and complain about that, but you know,
is what it is, man.
it you know what if you know what I mean? I'm just
lean into the what if,
and
basically.
And I think and again, and I think it's because my expectations don't. I don't like, especially like with Marvel, the way that they've done things. My expectations continue to be higher for them, not necessarily the same.
As compared to
like to me my expectations for Marvel should be as high as they were when I was seeing trailers for like the Winter Soldier or for Civil War, to where like I can't stop watching the trailers. I can't wait for the next shit to roll out. We're on the edge of our seat, constantly trying to figure out the next thing. Like my expectation for Marvel is that like
you be rewriting the story in your head and shit.
On
your own,
not all the time. Sometimes I don't need to.
Downtime. What? Oh, you don't need to, like when they meet your expectations. You mean? Which is very hard.
Loki, I never really had to. Suicide Squad, I never really sat back and was like, yeah, they should have changed this. Yeah, they should have changed that.
Okay. But Loki, we didn't know what we were getting though. Really.
Loki, we didn't know what we were getting.
It was a mystery every fucking episode.
Right, and that's what, like, you know what I mean? Like,
right. But they're not going
for
familiarity. For me, I don't know how to say that right now. That's tough. But they're not going for that with this. They're just
they're trying to continue the story.
Yeah,
which is supposed to. But I also feel like, hey, if we're gonna take a break from this and kind of do this multiverse thing, let's tell a completely different story. Like, let's completely go off the rails. You know what I mean? Like, let's spin the Marvel globe and just throw fucking darts at it and see where shit lands. Kind of a thing.
They need to get you in that writing room.
Just somebody just send me something and I'll be like, no, you can't do this. We just told this fucking story. Do it again.
Hell no.
I have, but that's just me having high expectations.
So when is the next episode? Tuesday?
Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. I'll be up for them.
Because
like this one, I'm gonna get up for this one.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
I'm excited for the whole journey. 9 episodes, about 30, 35 minutes. Animations look amazing.
Oh, animation is fucking incredible.
Oh, wow.
It is incredible. Really, like I said, man.
Very smooth. Characters look real. It looks good. I mean, you don't expect anything less from Disney, but it looks good.
I don't. It's Disney animation. You got Disney money. Let's go.
Facts. All right, man. So what if next episode is Tony turning into Star-Lord? Or no.
Tony turning into Star-Lord.
T'Challa turning into Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Running around with
I'm up to bust out my T'Challa.
You think they'll have Groot, Rocket, and all them as well?
I don't know. That's what I'm interested in. See, like that's
so like what if they take the Ravager side? Like Peter stays with the Ravagers. So T'Challa stays with the Ravagers.
You know what I mean?
He becomes a Ravager. That'd be dope.
Yeah. But what I don't want to see is if he becomes a Ravager and then the Ravagers go on the same journey that the Guardians of the Galaxy went on. Don't do that to me.
I don't think that'll happen.
Give me a different journey.
I don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah, they're gonna just.
You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna go do some shit. I think. Well, we'll see y'all next week for another episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. You know the vibes.
Thumb exercise.
Thumb exercise. All right, y'all. Peace.
Goodbye.